Hello, everybody. Glad you guys are all starting to tune in and join in. I did want to I do have some questions. I just popped in one about a virtual class attend this meeting. Yes, go ahead if you want to share the link to your class to have them join, that would be fine. Well, good morning. I know we're just a minute or so ahead of officially kicking off our Pennsylvania Pig Farm Showcase here at the for our session here with Remake Learning Days. But I wanted to take a few minutes before we get started and introduce our farmer for the session to kind of go over some housekeeping notes. First, I'm so glad to have everybody join us today. Know that we have folks coming from all across the state. So very excited to have you guys participating with us, no matter where you are coming from. Also, just to let you know, if you have questions later on in the session that you would like Chris to answer, use the Q&A box to ask your questions. We do have the chat box open if you are looking to share things with other folks, or you make sure you change your thing from panelists to panelists and attendees, or if you just want to share something with our farmer Chris and myself, you can do that. But first off, I'll introduce myself. My name is Charlene Schuh-Beskenstein. I'm the executive director here at the Pennsylvania Friends of Ag Foundation. And you can see, if you aren't familiar with our foundation, you can see behind me is a picture of one of our mobile ag ed science lab trailers. That's our largest program. We go across the state, visit over 160 schools in a normal school year, and have all sorts of experiments available um, for classroom experiences. We do a K through 8 program with that. You may have also participated in our Ag Literacy Week, which happens the third week in March. Or for teachers on here, we have a couple of teacher trainings we also offer, such as our Educators Ag Institute, which we have registration open right now. Or we also do have a Winter Ag Workshop, which we do a set of virtual trainings as well. But with that, I will go through my slides here. First off, again, thank you for joining us here today. We are so glad to have you here with us. Also want to say we're part of Remake Learning, and if you didn't know, there's over 800 virtual and in-person learning events for families across the 17 regions with Remake Learning, and we are one of them, and we're very excited to be a part of this. Just want to say a quick thanks to all of the national sponsors and partners who helped make Remake Learning happen this year. And also, probably the most important thing to share is your feedback is super important with this, and we will have a survey, and I will put it in the chat box at the end. So especially teachers, if you can share your thoughts and feedback. I know that the Hooks who have been organizing the Remake Learning Days would really appreciate that. So with that, I am going to stop sharing my screen, and I am going to invite our pig farmer to join me on, and he's going to go ahead and talk to you about his farm. So go ahead, Chris, if you want to go ahead and start your video and unmute, and we'll turn it over to you.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Pig Farmer Showcase. I'm excited to be here today, and I'm just looking forward to kind of sharing what we do on our farm and try to give you a little sense of where your food comes from. It's exciting being on the farm, and we have a lot of things that are happening day in and day out. As you can see behind me is a Zoom photo. Actually, my son has a drone, and so we did some drone footage of our farm, and so it looks like I'm sitting high above my farm, but this is actually a drone footage of our farm where we have our pigs. Some of our pigs. We have multiple different farms. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We, as we go through this, we are going to be having some questions for you all to answer. So you want to make sure that you are able to answer these questions as we go. For some reason, my screen does not want to. Here we go. Now I can get this done. All right, so there it is. It's another shot from a drone from our farm that we've taken last summer. And I look forward to kind of walking you through all this. So as I said, we will be going ahead and doing some questions and answers. So I want to see the knowledge that you all have of pigs and what happens on our farm and a little bit about where your food comes from. So I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are ready to go. I'm going to start here by showing this is a picture of me about a year ago. I received the national award for America's Pig Farmer of the Year. And so to get that award, you have to demonstrate a lot of the things that we do on our farm, from how we take care of our animals, how we work with food safety, how we do things to help the environment, as well as the things we do around the community. And so it's really, really important. I'm going to show you a video that they professionally did when I received this award. And then after the video is over, we're going to have our first question just to see your baseline of what you know about pigs. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and move forward and do the video. So turn on your sound and enjoy this 2-minute video. I think being part of a farm is kind of the roots of the nation. Our nation was built on agriculture, and I'm able to carry on that tradition. So our farm is located in Juniata County, Pennsylvania, in a small town called McAllisterville. Our farm is kind of special because we are a first-generation farm. It's kind of one of those things that are unheard of in today's world. I'm a pig farmer because I love working with pigs. The challenge every day of getting up and working with our sows and watching the litters being born. It's exciting to be able to do that and to work as a family and be able to create food for the nation. I've always said that our pigs are almost like part of the family. They're very special to us. We're making sure they get fresh water. We want to make sure the nutrition's right. We want to make sure that when they're sick, we treat them individually, just like we would our own children. And everything I own today is because of the pigs. It's really important to me that our animals are treated with the best care we can give them. It's important to the consumer, and it's important to us as farmers. And so we have to really work hard at making sure they understand how we raise our animals, the care that we give them, the importance of agriculture, importance of pig farming, importance of all farming. We're proud of our heritage, proud of what we do, and it's great to be living here in the country and enjoying working with the family and having fun every day. So there you have it. You got to see some live pigs wandering around in the barn, and you got to meet our family and see our farm. It is really an enjoyable thing that we do every day, being able to spend time with all those animals. So I got a question for you that you're going to have to answer. I'm going to pull up a poll here, and I'm going to have you answer it. And do your best. If you watch the video, the answer was in the video. So, all right, here we go. Here is your first question, and I'm going to launch it right now. What do you call a mother pig? Is it a piglet, a gilt, a sow, or Miss Piggy? Go ahead and vote. I see you guys are voting. Yep. Still got about 30 of you to vote yet. I'll give you another 15 or 20 seconds yet before we end the poll. Got 5 seconds left to vote. Okay, I'm going to end the polling right now. And I'm going to share the results. I'm kind of surprised no one picked Miss Piggy, but I guess you guys know that's from the Muppets, right? So right there you have it. 16 of you said a sow. 3 of you said a gilt. A sow was the correct answer. A gilt is a female pig that has never had little baby pigs. So y'all did really good on that one. Congratulations. And now we'll continue on with our poll or with our presentation. Oh, we have a question.
Yes, we have a question. We have someone who's asking, how many years have you been a pig farmer?
So I've been a pig farmer for almost 32 years. We bought our first farm when I was 24 years old. And so we're a first generation farmer. And so it's been about 28 years of being on our own. And I had 5 years working for someone else. So it's been about 30, 32, 33 years. Thank you for that question. All right. So um, for those who got the sow question right, in our farm, we have 4 different growing areas and places where our pigs actually get to spend time throughout their life. We have a breeding and gestation, which is on the far left. We have our farrowing area, which is actually our birthing area where little pigs are born. Then they move from there to the nursery and then to the grow finish side. I'm going to kind of walk you through all those so you get a better idea of exactly what happens in each of these areas. So this is our breeding and gestation area. And so this is where our sows, our mother pigs, actually gestate. It takes 114 days from the time a sow is bred until she gives us our litter of pigs. And so during that time, we have our sows in a stall where we're able to watch her every day. We're able to feed her, make sure that she has no issues. She gets all the water she can drink, and that we also use vaccinations and those things. So we're able to monitor each and every one of them on a daily basis. As I said, they stay here for 114 days, and it's just so that they're well protected and taken care of. All our pigs are inside so that they don't have to deal with the weather. Um, it's always somewhere between 65 and 70 degrees in our gestation, and that makes the sows very, very comfortable. When they're ready to give birth, we take them into what we call our farrowing rooms or our birthing rooms. And as you can see, our sows are actually very, very comfortable. When a pig is born, they weigh about 3 to 3.5 pounds. And then mom lays down and gives them an opportunity to drink. So we have about 15 little pigs born every mom on an average. As you can see in the corner of the pen, there's a heat lamp, and so the sows like it to be in the 60s to 70 degrees. The little pigs like it a little bit warmer. They like it in the 85 to 90 degree. So when they're done nursing, as you can see on the left side of the pictures, you can see how they all huddle up underneath that heat lamp to keep warm. And so we try to keep them to the desired temperature as they grow. They will drink from mom about every hour to an hour and a half that she will nurse them, and that happens will continue from the day they're born until they're about 21 days old. At 21 days, we then take them off of mom, and we take them to what we call our nursery area or nursery barn. And our nursery barn is where the pigs then start eating grain, and they get their own places to live. As you can see, we have a plastic flooring so that when they are born, they weigh about 3.5 pounds. And from the time they're on mom for 21 days, when we take them off of mom, they now actually weigh around 14 pounds. So they gain around 10, 11 pounds during 21 days. And then they go on feed here in our nursery. As you can see, our nursery, I'm sitting there in a bucket, and the little pigs are huddled all around, and they're walking around and able to eat feed at any point in time they want. As you can see on the right picture, they have automatic waters. All they have to do is press down on it, and the water will come out of the nipple, and they can drink at any time. They're in here for approximately 8 weeks age to their about a total of 10 to 12 weeks. And when they first come in, we have it at about 85 degrees. So we keep it very, very warm for these pigs. And then as they get older, we will drop the temperature down to about 70 degrees. So they get to kind of just hang out. You see there's a plastic floor. We want to keep the pigs dry and clean. And so all their manure actually goes down through the floor into a pit below the barn. Once they leave the nursery, and this is a picture of my grandson Clay, we go to the finishing barn, and this is our grow finish area, and this is where the pig will stay until it's ready to be processed. And so they'll stay in this barn for approximately 18 weeks, where they'll go from 50 pounds when they leave the nursery. So they were 14 when they came in the nursery, go to 50 pounds in about 8 weeks. And then from 50 pounds to the time they're ready to be processed, which is 280 pounds, will be an additional 18 weeks. So they'll stay in here for about 18 weeks until they're ready to go to market to be processed. And so, as you can see, the pigs are able to roam around and eat and drink whenever they want. And so they have a pretty good leisurely life. They're kept at between 65 and 70 degrees all year round because that's the temperature they love and they most perform in that type of a temperature. So that is really the life of a pig. A pig from the time it's born until the time it goes to the processing place is around 25, 26 weeks. So a pig goes from 3.5 pounds to 280 pounds in that amount of time. And we'll talk a little bit why and how that happens at that rate of speed, because this is about science and technology, and science plays a lot into raising pigs. With that, guess what? It's time for question number 2. And so I want you to get yourself ready. I'm going to pop up the next question. Here is your next question. And this one has to do with pig feed. So pigs eat a lot of feed. So here we go. Get ready. Here's a question for you. How many different types of feed will a pig eat during its lifetime? Will it be 3 to 4, 8 to 10, or 15 to 20? All right, and I have a question at this point in time.
Yes, the question I have is how many pigs do you currently have at the farm?
So the question is, how many pigs do we have at the farm right now? Well, right now we have about 20,000 pigs on feed all the time. Every week we're sending pigs to the processor to be processed into meat, and every week we have pigs being born. So that 20,000 kind of stays the same throughout all year long. That's a good question. Thanks for asking that. All right, I got about 6 or 7 seconds here yet before we're going to end the poll. This is how many types of feed will a pig eat during its lifetime? And I see that it's kind of all over the board. You all are thinking a little differently. So here we go. I will share the results. There you go. As you can see, 10 of you thought 8 to 10. 3 of you thought 3 to 4, and 7 thought 15 to 20. And my next slide will actually show you the answer. There you go. So every pig has a dietitian. So we actually do have feed nutritionalists that we work with. And through a pig's life, they will get somewhere between 8 to 10 different types of feed in their lifetime. It's a blend of corn and soybeans. it's balanced for their age, their weight, and gender. So every pig at different types of times of its life, whether they're 20 or 25 pounds versus 200 pounds, they all need something a little different. And so that's why we change our feed multiple times throughout their lives. So we do change it 8 to 10 times, and that really changes on the calories that they need, the vitamins, minerals. They don't get vitamins probably as you all as children do. So we put the vitamins in the feed for them to eat. So very good. Half of you got the answer right. And so now you know a little bit about their feed and the things that we do on our farm. Um, it's really important that we raise healthy pigs. And healthy pigs require a lot of different things on our farm. So one of the things that is really important is their diet, their nutrition. We need to really keep after that. We also have to make sure they get plenty of fresh water. Fresh water is really important. Vaccinations. We do vaccinate our pigs to make sure they stay healthy and protect them from diseases. We're constantly cleaning our barns. As you would take your car to the car wash, our barn is washed down every week. It is as clean as we possibly can keep it to make it as sanitation as possible. Um, we like to do everything we can to protect our animals from disease and illness. We also work with our veterinarian, who is a pig doctor. You go to your doctor as children. We have a doctor that does little baby pigs and big pigs, and so they're called veterinarians, and so we work with them to help us with treating our sick pigs and making sure that we are doing everything right just to make the pigs as healthy and happy as they can be.
Chris, while you're talking about giving a healthy food for pigs, we have a question. Do you give, like, I guess you should explain all the question. Do you give them healthy food?
Yes, they get all natural grains and they get natural vitamins and minerals, and just as your parents make you healthy meals at the during for your breakfast or for your dinner, we do the same thing for our pigs. Uh, we don't use any byproducts. It's just grains and minerals and vitamins to make them healthy.
All right, Chris, we have two more questions here. Oh, and I'll try and I'll give you one is pretty quick. Is how many people do you employ on your farm?
Okay, so on our farm, we actually have 7 employees to help us take care of all our pigs.
Um, the other one is, do you grow your own food? And the other part of another question is where does all the food go?
So we do not grow our own food. We do have crops growing, but what we do is we actually go to an actual feed grinder, mixer, feed mill type place where our dietitians, our feed nutritionalists, give us a diet that actually matches what size pigs we're trying to feed, and so they build that feed based on our feed nutritions, and so to us that's really important to keep pigs healthy, to make sure that their diet is just right. And the manure that actually goes down through this, you can see this picture here. One of the guys is actually power washing. This is a finishing barn. He's cleaning all the manure off the walls, off the fencing, off the floor. That goes down through, and then we pump it out. And so the grains that we feed our animals need nutrients to grow really nice big crops. And so we take the manure, because the manure from the pigs actually has what our crops need. And so we actually put the manure on the ground, incorporate it into the ground, and then plant our crops so that we have really good, strong, healthy crops to be able to then feed our pigs again. So it is kind of like a circle where we put manure on the ground, grow crops, feed the crops to the pigs create manure, we put it back in the ground again, and we grow more crops. And so it's really, really important that we have that fertilizer, so we don't have to go out and buy fertilizer. We have our own that our pigs actually make for us. These are all really, really great questions. Keep them coming, and it's really, really important. So as you can see, if you come and work at our farm, you have to be really good at running a pressure washer because it really a clean barn, a barn that's dry, really helps keep our pigs healthy. And healthy pigs are what's the most important to us as pig farmers. You know, sometimes people talk about, well, what happens when a pig gets sick? And, you know, it's just no different that if you as a child, you get sick, your parents take you to a doctor. So the doctor will then give you some type of antibiotic to take to help you get through your sickness. We do the same things with pigs. Now, we don't actually take the pigs from the barn and take them to the doctor. Sometimes the veterinarian, who is our pig doctor, will come to us, but we work with him and we know what kind of antibiotics we need to use when pigs get sick. And so we do the same thing that you would do. We do treat our pigs. We work with our veterinarian to make sure we're treating them with the right types of antibiotics. We are very there's a lot of strict rules from the FDA on what we have to follow and how we need to do it. We use only what is needed for the pigs, and then once we do treat them, we have to then follow them and monitor them because there's withdrawal times that we need to follow, and just to make sure that that pig is doing well and gets back to that really good healthy status. So we do that, and it's just doing a really good job of taking care of our pigs, because that's the important part is making sure we do a good job of taking care of our pigs. All right, hey, we're up to question 3 already. This is I'm gonna pull this question up. Hope you guys are ready. Here we go. Question 3 is, here we go. You might have kind of got this question, but here we go. What grain makes up about 75% of pig feed? Is it wheat, oats, corn, barley, or popcorn? What do you think?
And Chris, while they're voting, you want to answer some of
Hey, I'm ready for more questions.
Okay, well, this one is, I think you'll really like this one, is what made you decide to become a pig farmer?
Well, I started working with pigs as I got out of high school, and was not what I was planning on doing in my career. But once I got started and started working with pigs, I really started to enjoy it. And one of the things is it's just great to be able to see a pig grow, and then to be able to know that we're going to be able to help feed the world. And so once I got started, it kind of got in my blood, and here it is 30 some years later, I'm still doing it.
All right, and this is a good question. Have you ever kept a pig as a pet, or do they all get processed?
We did have a miniature pig at one point in time. We had them as a house pet, but they become very naughty when you leave. And so I ended up having to take him to the barn where he lived out the rest of his life because he became way too naughty for being in the house. Good question. All right, I'm going to end this polling here. And let's see what you guys decided the questions you answered was, there's the results. So 9 of you said corn, 2 of you said oats, and 7 of you said wheat. Well, the two main ingredients, but the most is corn. Corn is the most. About 75% of the pig feed itself is corn, and then we have soybean meal. We do use some wheat sometimes and some oats, but they're not the main ingredients. So, really good. Thank you for that. Stop sharing that, and we're going to move on. So there you got it. There's the answer is corn. I want to kind of go through this so you kind of understand how the food gets to your dinner plate at the end of the day, or maybe your breakfast or lunch. So it all starts out with the corn. Remember the manure in the ground, then we grow nice big crops. So there's the corn. That corn then gets made into feed. As you can see, the lady is scooping some grain into the feeder. See all the little baby pigs as they grow. And that is our processing plant. So the pigs are loaded up when they hit 280 pounds, and they then go to the processing plant where they're actually processed into different cuts of meat. So once they are processed and packaged, we as pig farmers have about three different areas where our pork goes to. So one of our big markets is global. And so one out of four pigs that are processed, and that we process around 500,000 pigs a day here in America. 500,000 pigs a day in America. One out of those four pigs actually will leave the United States and go to Mexico or Canada, China, South America. So it's really, really important that we have good trade relations and that we're able to get our pork protein to the markets that so people can enjoy it all around the world. So that's one place. Another place that we do is food service, or if you go to McDonald's and you get a McRib sandwich, that's part of where some of our pigs go to. So that's a really important. Food service could be considered the school lunch where you go when you go for lunch. It's part of our food service as well. The other place is the grocery store, and that's where your parents would actually go and pick up those items that you need, and then eventually it becomes part of your meal, whether it's your breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So that's really, really how the whole process goes. So when your parents go to Walmart or something like that to the food service, know that it actually started from corn, went from the pig through the processing, and then to your grocery store and then to your plate. So this is a picture of my family, parts of my family, not all of them, but one of the things that we do is so as you can tell, we got some grandkids and so making improvements within our farm is so important so that our next generation of farmers will be able to be able to be successful as well and to continue making meat and protein for the generations to come. One of the things that we do, and you hear a lot of different things about the environment, you can know that pig farmers are working very, very hard to make sure that we meet all the needs um, of the next generation and to protect the environment that we now live in because it's important to us as pig farmers. So when you start talking about climate and those types of things, we've reduced our carbon footprint by 7%. We've used less water over the last 40 or 50 years than we did a long time ago. Our energy uses is a lot less. And we've been able to grow better crops so that we can reduce the amount of land we need to be able to produce our corn and our soybeans, our wheat, and all that. And we use technology to do that. And so it's really, really important that technology becomes part of our farm. And some of the things that we do is with our farm is we use a lot of electronics. As you guys play your Wii and your Segas and I don't know what all there are, but your Xboxes, that's technology. But we take that same type of technology to be able to run our barns. Right now, all my fans and my heaters and our feed lines, all that stuff that right now, as I'm sitting here doing this, it is managing our barn to make sure that it meets everything our pigs need. And so that's really, really important. But I got something that really will resonate with you. The amount of water we save, that means that if you were to save the water instead of us pig farmers saving it, you would have to take 90 showers a year less. I don't know if your parents would appreciate you not taking a shower every day. But so pig farmers are working hard to make sure that we're conserving water so that you can shower every day. That's really, really important. The other thing with energy is the amount of energy that we're able to save by using the technology, using the electronics, putting in LED lighting and all these types of things. For you to save as much energy as we've saved over the years, you would have to take your refrigerator and shut it off. Now, that's not a good idea, but that's the type of energy we've been able to save over the years to help the environment. So we are really doing really good things as pig farmers, and so it's really, really important. I think it's interesting if you look at this graph, and I know it might be more technical than what you really need to see, but if you can see where swine is when it comes to the greenhouse gases and stuff, we're at 0.35%. And so we've got a big job to do is to help everyone, transportation, the industry, power generation. Those are where we have to really work at our efforts. Farmers are doing a great job of making sure that we help with keeping the environment as perfect as possible. So with the refrigerator part, I have to ask you, you all know what this is, I hope. This is bacon, right? So think about what you looked in your refrigerator this morning before you came to school. What type of pork is in your refrigerator? Think about that. And we got question number 4. Okay, so are you thinking about what types of stuff's in your refrigerator? So I got a question for all of you. So speaking of what's in your refrigerator, I have this question for you. Here we go. What part of a pig does the pork butt come from? What part of the pig does the pork butt come from? Is it the shoulder? Is it the belly? Is it the ham, the back, or the leg? Oh, this is a tough question, I see. Yep. You guys are all over the board. Keep on going. Keep voting. Keep voting. I want to see where you guys all come in at.
We have a slew of questions.
I understand the questions are coming in. We'll have time at the end here. I only have about 3 or 4 more slides, and then we'll answer as many questions as we can. All right. I'm going to give you 10 seconds more. 10 seconds more. Oh, yes. So this was kind of a trick question. So according to all of you out there, you think that the pork butt comes from the back of the pig. So there is the share of the results. A few think the shoulder, belly, ham, back, and leg. So I'm going to go to my next slide. If I can. There we go. So where does the pork come from? That question, pork butt, actually comes from the shoulder. It is a cut of pork from the shoulder, which is the front part. So let's look at this as you go. I asked a lot of people, where does bacon come from? And they don't really know. So the bacon actually comes from the side of the pig or the belly. So as you can see, the side, there's where the bacon comes from. Um, Ground pork comes from any part of the pig, but the hams usually come from the leg. Tenderloins comes from the loin area, and that's where your pork chops come from as well. Uh, and so the ribs come from the loin, and then you get your arm picnic roast and your shoulder roast all come from the shoulder. So that's where most of your pigs come from. Your cuts of pork come from the pig. So I thought that was really good for you to kind of get to know where all your favorite cuts come from. Really, really important to know like what part of the pig those things. So when you're having ham, you know that comes from the leg of the pig. So as you were thinking about your refrigerator, here is a whole bunch of products. And I know it's a busy screen, but here's a whole bunch of products that come from pigs. And so you can see in the back, there's ham, and then there's bacon in the middle. Most of you, I think love pizza, right? And pepperoni pizza is my favorite. But guess where pepperoni comes from? It comes from the pig. How about hot dogs? Do you guys like hot dogs? Well, a lot of hot dogs are made with pork, uh, and then pulled pork, and then sausage. Uh, there's bologna. I mean, these are all my favorite products. I'm hoping they're your favorite products too. So these are all types of even ham lunch meat. Do you see that in the back? These are all types of things that will probably be in your refrigerator at home and things that you enjoy to eat. I want to let you know though that USDA did a study, and a lot of times people used to call our pigs fat hogs, and we don't call them that anymore. We call them market hogs because they are very, very lean. And pork tenderloin is as lean as chicken. And we've got a lot of cuts of pork that are leaner than what most people think. But our protein, along with our leanness, is really what makes it special. So when you're out playing sports and running around the backyard and you need energy and you're trying to grow big muscles and to be healthy, pork is one of the best types of meat to be able to eat. It's low in fat and high in protein, and that's what you need to have a strong, healthy body. One of the things that we do is this is just a different ways you prepare it. I think it's much better if you prepare it at 145 and 150 based on having it well done at 160. Everyone has their own ideas. We're up to question 5. While I pull this up, maybe Charlene can tell me a couple questions that you may have.
Absolutely. That's a lot of them. One of the questions is, have you cared for any other animals?
So on our farm, we do have a few beef cattle, as well as we have a whole bunch of chickens. So we raise about 50,000 chickens as well on our farm. That's a good question.
Yes. Another question is, as you pulling up the poll, is did you go to college or take classes to become a better pig farmer and businessman?
I uh, I took accounting in high school, which really helps as a farmer, because there's a lot of work to do with adding and subtracting. But I never went to college, but I have taken some pig courses to continue to improve my knowledge about pigs, about how their body makeup is, and what they need as pigs, to make sure they get the right nutrition, and they're being taken care of. So we're constantly taking courses just to improve what we do. Good questions. Like these questions. Okay, so here is the last poll that I have, and I'm going to send this. Here we go. This. Okay, so here you go. What musical instrument uses a part of a pig to make beautiful music? Is it a piccolo, a piano, a drum, or a violin? I really like this question, by the way. I think it's really cool. So there you guys are gone. You guys are really doing good at voting. Thank you very much. This looks like a tough question. The votes are coming in slower than normal. I'll give you another 15 seconds before I end the poll. Yeah. Another 5 seconds. Okay. I'm going to end the polling. Hopefully you had a chance to vote. And here we go. All right. So I'm going to share the results with you. So as you can see the results, the drum actually was 12. The piano was 2. The violin was 1. And the piccolo was 4. And so I'm going to take you to my next screen. And there was actually 2 answers to this one. But there you have it. The answer to that question that I was looking for was the violin. So in the strings of the violin, they use different types of the pig to make the strings of the violin. But the drum heads, as you can see, were also used. So the skin of the pig stretched out actually does make a really nice drum. As you can see, these are a lot of different products that comes from the skin or parts of the pig. For those who may or may not know, the medical industry uses a lot of different animal parts to help with our parts. And I have a friend who actually had a bad heart valve, and they replaced his heart valve with a pig heart valve. And so pigs are very, very important to our human body because they work very well with our own body. And as you can see that they even help with making marshmallows. The gelatin from a pig's body is actually in marshmallows. And so from crayons to oil to actual dressings for wounds, there is so many different things that pigs help us with not only the meat protein, but even all the way down to an artist brush. They take the hair to be able to have for an artist to be able to do its job of painting beautiful pictures. And so just all the food that we get from pigs also give us so much more than just food. And I think it's just great that we're able to use just more than just the food to be able to help us as who we are and what we do throughout our life. So I thought that was really, really important for you all to know. So at this point, I got my little pig there with his glasses on. We're now ready for questions. So I'm going to have Charlene go ahead and read off the questions. If you have some, feel free to type them in the chat, and we'll try to answer as many as we possibly can.
All right. Yeah. So make sure to add them into the question and answer box. I appreciate everybody who's been doing that. We'll start with what is your pig's favorite food? Do they have one?
So pigs just love the grain that we feed them. So that's just what they get. They get grain, and they do like potatoes. We've also been able to feed them potatoes at times, but mainly they just get grain, and they love that. So that's what they eat.
Right. And the next question is, how many barns do you have on your farm?
So we have a total of 4 farms with the 7 different barns. So we have pigs at different stages. So we have our breeding and gestation barn. We have our farrowing barn, our birthing barn. We have our nursery, and then we have some finishing barns, our grow finish barns. And then we also have a little barn called the isolation barn, where we bring our little gilts in as 50-pound feeder pigs, and they will be our future mothers. So that's our farm.
Okay, this is a good question. And how do 7 people keep up with 20,000 pigs?
So we use a lot of technology, a lot of automation, and that's is really important. We spend a lot of time with Penn State University, the College of Ag. They do a lot of research on new ways of doing things, and so the way we used to raise pigs was really a lot of labor and a lot of hands-on. And today we're able to do a whole lot more with electronics and different types of technology that helps us do a really even better job than we've ever done. So technology is super important as we go into the future.
All right, we have a question, and it asks, how much manure is made in a year on your farm?
So we need about 5 million gallons of manure to be able to feed our crops, and so it's important that we get that amount of manure so that we have enough to put into our crops to grow the feed so we can feed our pigs. But it's around 5 million gallons of manure.
All right, we have a question that asks, how many different types of pigs do you have?
So we just have one type of pig. It's a crossbreed between a York landrace and it's just a white sow animal, and so that's what we have. It's just a cross between a York and a landrace.
Okay, and this question is, what is the temperament of pigs?
So pigs are, for the most part, very laid back. You can get in with them. Once they get used to you, they come and crawl all over you. They like to be with you. Our sows, when they give birth, sometimes tend to be a little kind of anxious because they want to protect their little babies. But after they give birth, they lay down, they start milking. They become really just cool and collective, and they're really great animals to be around.
This is a fun one. Do you ever name the pigs?
Occasionally we have pigs that we do name. Long time ago, a long time ago, when I was in my early 20s, I had a pig in the barn that I called Homer. That was from the Homer Simpsons, and he used to come running to visit me in at times. But he got bad one day and started tearing up the barn, and so I had to put him in a pen. But yeah, we name pigs every once in a while just because they're interesting or different.
This is one about the
how many
pigs
pigs
does
does
a
a
sow
sow
have
have
in
in
a
a
lifetime,
lifetime,
or
or
how
how
many
many
litters?
litters?
So on our farm, usually a sow will have up to 6 litters of pigs um, in her lifetime. So she'll have close to 6 litters. And so at 15, she has about 15 at a time. So take that times 6. So there's a math question for you all to do.
This
This
is
is
a
a
good
good
one
one
because
because
we
we
know
know
it's
it's
important
important
to
to
keep
keep
animals
animals
healthy.
healthy.
Is
Is
what
what
are
are
things
things
you
you
have to
have to
watch
watch
out
out
with,
with,
like
like
to
to
what
what
diseases
diseases
are
are
concerned
concerned
with
with
your
your
pigs?
pigs?
So the reason we keep our pigs indoors is really to protect them from diseases as well as really cold weather or really hot weather, because pigs can't take either hot or cold. But birds actually carry a lot of E. coli around, and so we have to make sure that they don't get E. coli and those types of things. So that's one of the things that we really look out for. On our farm, we shower in. So when you come to the barn in the morning, you have to take a shower. So you completely strip down. You go through our shower. You get a shower, and you put on barn clothes that never leave the barn. So that's how we protect our pigs. We don't go outside of the barn. Once you're in, you're in. When you leave, you go through the shower out, and that's how we protect our pigs.
Okay, I'll give
I'll
you
give you
two.
two.
This
This
one.
one.
One
One
is,
is,
are
are
pigs your
pigs your
favorite
favorite
animals?
animals?
And the
And the
second
second
question
question
is,
is,
do
do
you
you
think
think
pigs
pigs
are
are
smart?
smart?
Pigs are my favorite animals, and pigs are extremely smart. They learn how to turn latches, open pens, sneak out. They are really mischievous if you just give them the time. So they are very, very smart animals.
All
All
right,
right,
Chris,
Chris,
I
I
know
know
we're
we're
running
running
out
out
of
of
time and
time and
we'll
we'll
have
have
to
to
wrap
wrap
up
up
soon.
soon.
So
So
let's
let's
just
just
see
see
here.
here.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
see how
see how
fast we
fast we
can
get
through
through
maybe
maybe
a
a
question
question
or
or
two
two
here.
here.
How
How
many
many
pounds of
pounds of
pork
pork
does
does
your
your
farm
farm
process
process
each
each
year?
year?
Wow, pounds of pork. So I didn't ever do the numbers, but we actually took 36,000 pigs last year to the processor. So if you take 36,000 times 280 pounds, that would be the amount of pounds of pork we process. So um, I don't have a calculator here, and I'm not going to be able to do that in my head. So another math question for you all.
Yes, it definitely, definitely,
We're definitely
definitely
getting
getting
down
down
there.
there.
Let's
Let's
do
do
one
one
last
last
one.
one.
And
This one that
this
we'll
one that
do
we'll
is
do
someone is
is
asking
someone
is
is asking is
how old does a
how
pig
old
have
do
to be
pigs
before
before
they
they
are
are
turned
turned
into
into
meat?
meat?
So
So
kind
kind
of
of
what's the
the
maturity,
maturity,
I
I guess.
guess.
So a pig is right around anywhere from 24 to 26 weeks of age. So about a half a year. Takes them about a half a year from the time they're born until they're ready to go to market.
All
All
right,
right,
and
and
the
last
last
question
question
I
I
guess
guess
we'll
we'll
do
do
is
is
one person asked, I was just told pork is pink. Is that not true? If it's not done.
if it's not done.
Uh, Pork, yeah, it's pink color inside. Usually turns white when it's just about ready to be eaten. So yes, it's pink inside and then turns white as it cooks. So that is correct.
Right. Well, thank you. I'm just getting up to like our last minute. I do want to.
Oh, sorry about
About
that.
that. Forgot to unmute myself. First off, I want to say a huge thank you to Chris for
Being
being
with
with
us
us
today.
today. I do have.
A survey link in the chat for everybody that sorry about that. I do want to thank everybody for being with us today. Um, really appreciate everybody taking some time out. Just a couple things again. Survey is in the chat box. Please take a moment to fill that out. Also, for all of our visitors, we did also include several resources, links to things on our foundation website. So you can learn more about our mobile ag lab science program. We have different ag education resources available there and our Educators Ag Institute. Also, just to let you know, we will be posting a recording of this video on our website as well as on the Foundation's Facebook page. Again, thank you everyone for participating, and look forward to seeing you at another virtual or in-person event in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.